Madam Director, guests, parents, graduates, good afternoon. I need better than that one. Good afternoon. Congratulations. We are proud of you. Are you proud of yourselves? Fantastic. Give yourselves a round of applause. Well done. So much has been said. Now, I'll tell you something. I get a lot of invitations. But for me to say yes most of the time, I must be aligned to what that person is inviting me to do or say. So I have never met your director, Gladys, until I think 3 weeks ago, Gladys. That's when we met. And she came all the way to see me and she said, you've been recommended to come and speak to my college. So I said, what's special about your college? Because I deal with a lot of charity work. So I've seen a lot of things. So if you think yours is a bad situation, imagine somebody else has a worse situation than you. Do you believe that? Yeah, so don't imagine that yours is the worst situation. Somebody else is going through the worst. Then she gave me this Sharon story she has given you today. And let me tell you, I was convinced that this is the place I need to be. So sorry guys, I'm going to be speaking to them, not to you. When I need to speak to you, I will come to you. Sawa sawa? First of all, by the way, I'm seeing very many men. Men, stand up. Hiya, you guys are not men. This is where we are going wrong. You say men stand up, you guys are seated. So let me tell you something, men. I'm speaking to you from my heart. I've done a lot of work with women. We will not correct the men's situation as women. You will correct that. Sawa sawa? This boy child is your problem. Sort it out. Because we have empowered these girls. Alafu hatuna waume wa kutuoa. Even me, I'm single. If you're single, see me. Please sit down. Sort these men. Sawa? Have we agreed, men? Thank you very much. Today I want to talk about two things only. And my good friend has alluded to some of them. But before I do that, I want to introduce my colleagues. You've been told I'm the president of the Rotary Club of Karen. We do good in the community. I'm here with that Muzungu there, PMC. He hears all Kiswahili. He's more Kenyan than you and me. Muzungu sema jambo. Very good. His name is Alistair Lindsay. He's the public image director. And he handles our PR and communication at the club. We also have Rachel Mwero. She does a lot of motivation speaking and mentoring, and she also does our PR and communication. We also have Eva. Eve does antiques. You know what antiques are? You know those old things that you throw away and you don't value? You know what antiques are? Amujui antiques? Antique is like Alistair. Wazee kama hawa. Just joking. All right, so thank you very much, guys, for coming out to support me. This is incredible. So I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about shame. Aibu, shame. You know what shame is? I want to talk about self-love. You heard the story of Sharon. I want you to think about right now, what is your shame? Some time back, in 1998, I did my KCSE exam. Umewahi kuanguka wakakusikia wakiwa Mombasa na uko Meru? You know what failing is? You fail, even your own parents look at you, they're like, we? 4 years. Sikupata lakini ilikuwa very close. For me, that was my shame. There were many reasons why I got there, because I was a very sickly child in school. In fact, some of the exams, I took them in a hospital bed. But I came out with my D-, very proud that even from the hospital bed, I managed to get my certificate. Okay? So I had a choice. Do I go back to school and repeat? Or do I face the world? That was my shame. I don't know what your shame is. It could be you got pregnant. It could be you got expelled, like Madam Sharon, Madam Gladys. Why are you calling yourself Sharon? Sharon ilikuwa stage name? Oh, okay. Madam Gladys. It could be you are sick. You have a disease you got either by birth or because you chose a different path of your life. What is your shame? I'm giving you a minute to think about it. What is that thing you've identified yourself with as shame? Even the grown-ups and the visitors here, think about it. What have you labeled your shame? How much has it carried you through life? That shame. I have a great author. I read a lot. Her name is Brené Brown. She's an expert in shame. This is what she says about shame. Shame is about fear. Shame thrives when you don't talk about it. It is unspoken. I got pregnant, I had an abortion. I became pregnant and HIV. I was expelled from school. I was raped. I started taking drugs. Name it, whatever it is. I gave birth at 16, at 14, at 15. I just met a girl yesterday, 10-year-old girl who just gave birth. It's unimaginable. That's her shame. But you have a choice. This shame can carry you all your life. But you guys have made a decision. You've come and done a skill. The gentleman from NITA, I salute you, I honor you, if he's still in the room. The reason is we are encouraging our children to all get degrees, get masters. I have no problem with that. But guess what? Watu wa Karen na wapi wanatafuta nini? They're looking for plumbers. They're looking for electricians. They are not there. You have an opportunity with the skill you have. Say majob aziko. We are here to graduate you. Then we send you to the real world. There is no work. Work is what you and you and you and you. What do you put in your mind? Tuambiane ukweli, si ndio? To graduate alafu tuambie kazi na wangoja hakuna. You have to be creative. You have a skill. A skill that nobody can take away from you. Nobody. Are we together? You can cook anything. You've been trained. Unaweza kuja uniundie hawe yangu na hizo my electricity, shower inanipiga, nini. You're the person we are looking for. Don't just sit there and say, maze mini plamba, mini fundi wa maji. Walk with that fundi ya maji with pride. Because nobody else can do it like? Good, like me, very good. Own it, it's yours. Nobody else can do it like you. You can make chapati like nobody. Kwani lazima zikuwe za round? Why can't you make a square chapati? Why can't you make a rectangle, what? Huh? Pan. Chapati. Hey. Stop thinking the same as everybody else. Sawa sawa? Don't allow your shame, whatever it is, that is your past. You have an opportunity. You have been empowered today. What you do with it now, Sio shida ya Gladys, ama Ulesa, Anna Dance, Jacob, they have done their part. You also have a choice. Unajua hizi mitaa, Mr. Dragis amesema nini? Ziko. By the way, it is there. So unaweza enda hivi upate things are hard. My Swahili and Sheng is horrible, so I'm trying. Uende hivi upate, mtu anakuambia, tukipita hivi, tupige wase wawili ngeta, tutaomoka. Utaomoka, but at what cost? You have choices. You can choose the right thing, or you can choose the wrong thing. It is your choice. Sawa sawa? Very good. So don't keep quiet about your shame. If you keep quiet about it, it will keep growing. Speak it out. The moment you speak it out, it has no room in your life whatsoever. All right? Speak about it. I gave birth at 15. I gave birth at 16. I am, name it, whatever your shame is. I'm a druggie. I'm a what? Speak that shame. It will leave you. Okay? Tuko pamoja? So don't make shame your comfort zone. How many of us here felt that our families had written us off? Be honest. Your friends, Najua family wako hapa, msiwaogope. Had they written you off? Yeah? Don't be afraid. But look at you now, smiling, wearing a graduation gown. Did you ever imagine you'd be here when you were going through the things you were going through? You did not imagine, right? But here you are, and you can do even much more. The second thing I want to talk about is self-love. There's a reason why, even in the Bible, loving thyself is the greatest commandment. You cannot love your neighbor. You cannot even love your child before you love yourself. So accept, we've agreed that we'll accept the shame, the embarrassment, the mistakes we have made in life. Then we leave them behind and say, I am a new creation, I am a new being. But you must love yourself. You must love yourself enough. Love yourself enough to say, now I have this diploma, now I have this skill, I am going to excel in it. Sawa sawa? Love yourself enough. It has to start with you. Even when the world and everything beats you down, love yourself first. Are we together? Yeah? Very good. So I want to quickly now finish up and say, let us learn to recognize and understand what our shame triggers are. And the reason for doing that is, unless you understand what makes you go back to doing those things you had stopped doing. What makes you have 3 children by the time you're 21? See, by the time you gave birth the first time, ulijua oops. Ukarudi tena oops. Na tena oops. Learn to understand what makes you go back and have that drag. What makes you want to kuvuta yoka something? What is that triggering you? Understand what that is. Until you understand, you will keep going back. Sawa sawa? I know I'm lecturing you, but for a reason. Sindio? Tuko bado mnani love? Oh. You must develop a high level of critical awareness about what that shame is. You must be willing to reach out. I've had your director saying, come to my office. I've had your teachers here say, come talk to us. Usikufe peke yako. Sawa? Speak to somebody, and somebody who is going to empower you and help you. The last thing is, be able to speak about your shame. I've emphasized on this a lot. I want now to tell you, finally, and unfortunately none of you have a pen or a paper, so I don't know how you're going to write this down. Because we are about to send you to the wilderness, or the wilderness, which is called the world. The way I want to send you there is using Brené Brown's braving, as she calls it. Braving means B stands for boundaries. Boundaries. You must set boundaries for yourselves. Even the grown-ups in here. You must set boundaries. People must understand you are just not there sitting there. Umegraduate maze. If you need me, it's gonna cost you some mullah. Sawa sawa. We can still do good, but it's gonna cost you. Aya, simu respond basi. Mula pesa besha. Okay? Set your boundaries. R stands for reliability. Here is a problem with every fundi. Every fundi. My father is a tailor, and I can tell you, all my life I've seen people fight him. Why? You guys mukisema mutamaliza nguo kesho. Sa ile mwenyewe amekuja hiyo nguo ndio unaanza kukata material. Mtu anakupatia order ya catering, unasahau. Unaanza kusema ulikuwa unataka chips na nini na nini na nini ingine tena. Be a reliable person. If you're reliable, clients will know they can count on. Not me. Me, they count on me. It is you. Sawa sawa? What was B? Ah, you have good students. What is R? Fantastic. The next one is accountability. You must be accountable. Your parents, director, and the board of directors here have empowered you. They have given you the skill. Now, don't let them down. Go and do that which you've said you're gonna do. Go and exploit your skills. Sawa sawa? Be an accountable person. V stands for volt. Who knows what a volt is? Volt. Wait, amjui volt ni nini? In this context, volt is that place where you seclude yourself. You must have your you time. You must put yourself first. You must have that place where unendanga unajisikiza. You hear she was being kicked out of the office by her friends. Because you must always try and re-energize. And the people within your vault, you must be very selfish with them. There must be people who hold you accountable. There must be people who you can count on. Sawa sawa? There must be people who can call you out when you're misbehaving. They don't fear you. Alright? So make sure you have your vault. Alright? What was A? What was B? What is R? Fantastic. I, remember we are saying braving. That's the word we are describing. That's what I want to send you to the world with. Now, I is the trickiest of them all. And everybody seated there will tell you. Integrity. Saying you will do what you will do when you said you're gonna do it. Integrity. Can we trust your word? I promise you, all you have in your life is your word. If you let your clients down the first time, your biashara is gone. Gone. First impressions matter, right? So please be people of your word. Integrity, and it is the hardest thing to do. People choose to lie. People choose the easiest route instead of ukweli. Kama unajua hujashona nguo ya mtu, mwambie in 2 weeks. Don't make that client come. Mafundi wa nguo nyinyi ndio notorious. Eh? All right? And then N, braving, is be non-judgmental. And being non-judgmental is not about everybody else. Do you know who we are hardest on? Who are we hardest on? Self. Well done. We are hardest on ourselves. You hardly tell yourself, like now I'm asking you, are you proud of yourselves? Yeah, stand up and say, Maze, I did it. Nani kama mimi. You went through whatever you went through, and here today you're graduating. You did it. Don't judge yourself too hard. Whatever mistakes you've made, those are okay. Jiambie kesho ni siku, nita, I'll do the next best thing, all right? So don't beat yourself too hard, all right? Be non-judgmental. And finally, generosity. To whom much is given, much is expected. Well done. So much is expected of you. Now remember I said at the beginning, boundaries. Unaweza tulipisha. But also if you find an institution that needs your help, can you also offer? Can you offer? If you find like now it's Christmas, you guys have done catering, can you cook for a children's home and go feed them? Yeah? That is generosity. It comes back to you tenfold. I promise you. Give and it shall come back to you. Okay? So ladies and gentlemen, I am sending you to the world by asking you to braving the world. Okay? There is nothing you can't do. As long as you accept your shame, name it, speak it out, itakuacha. And then love yourself. Accept who you are. You're here now and you can do this in a big way, like Madam Gladys has done. I'm super proud of you. I don't know you, but your story is super inspiring. You should write a book. You should be in every media channel. We should all hear about you because you've done an amazing job with these girls and boys.